Hi there. So let's talk about how you might listen to something. First thing, make sure you've got decent speakers, headphones, something that's better than just the little tiny speaker that's in your telephone. Not a really great way to listen to music. You want some decent speakers. Good headphones are not terribly expensive and they're useful. So get in a quiet place, turn on the music, and listen. Listen the first time without doing anything. Just let the music be there. Notice what you notice. Then stop, go back, rewind it, take out a sheet of paper maybe, good old-fashioned pencil and paper, and start writing down the second time through the things that you actually hear. Do you hear a melody line? Can you hear a melody going by? Do you hear a time signature? Dr. Duncan, how can I tell if there's a time signature? Well, if something's going along and it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then you've probably got a time signature going on that's in 4, or at least in duple. Most of the things we're going to listen to will subdivide into 2, duple, or subdivide into 3, triple. So if you can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and it makes sense to you, it's probably duple. If you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, it's probably triple. And I'll put an example in here in just a moment for you to listen to so that you can go back and see what you hear. Do you hear other stuff going on? Can you tell if there are instruments? Are there voices? Ooh, voices add another thing. Is there language? The very beginning of this, you may hear, "Doc, I hear instruments. It seems to be in duple. There's a guy singing. It's not English." And that may be all that you can actually tell me about what you've heard. You may listen to it 15 or 20 times, and those are the only things that you can accurately tell me. Now, I'm not really interested in your telling me your emotional content with it. Oh, it made me feel this or that or the other. I want you to listen at this point for the actual mechanics of music that are going on. I want you to be able to talk about that. Now, it's not that the emotion is not important. It is. But we're working on what? Learning to listen and learning to hear. So being able to identify instruments, being able to identify time, being able to identify language. Is it a male voice? Is it a female voice? And there's going to be some times that the things we listen to will trick you. There are some guys who sing exactly the same way that a woman sings. And that may be confusing to your ear. You'd go, "I'd swore that was a woman." I would have too. It's a guy singing what we call countertenor. We'll get to that at some point, and you'll see how that happens. But I want you to listen to something several times till you get all the information you can. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second and give you some music to listen to. Okay, so what did you hear? Well, there wasn't a whole lot going on, right? Musically, there was one melody line, no accompaniment, only one instrument was playing pitches, and there were several instruments that were playing percussion parts, just providing rhythm patterns. The instrument that was playing the main melody was a recorder, like this one. If you heard it and you thought it was a flute sound, that's great, because it's a flute sound. It's a woodwind type of an instrument. It's an aerophone. Air makes the sound in the instrument. Did you hear the drum? The drum was a doumbek. It's a type of drum. Okay, cool sound. There was a tambourine. Also a neat sound, sort of a jingly metallic sound, and that may have been what you said. I heard a jingling metallic sound. That would work for me. There was a shaker. In this case, made out of seed pods, one of my favorite instruments. It's a neat, neat sound. And there was also a bell. These are called crotales or zills. And they're also a really neat sound. How was it put together? It was put together in a tempo of 3, a meter of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now this is a pretty cool little piece because it was written way back in the 12th century by none other than Richard the Lionhearted, the King of England, who had gone to the Crusades and ended up a prisoner there for a number of years. He was also a well-known musician and writer, and he wrote this melody originally. So if you didn't get all of that, go back, listen again, and see if you can hear that. Can you hear each of those little individual parts? For the most part, we tend to hear just the top line. We tend to hear just the melody. I've known students that I've played things for in the past, and I've asked them about them, and they've said, oh yeah, I heard the melody, and the words were such and such, and I ask about some other instrument that was there. That wasn't there, but it was. The thing is, we tend to listen just to the very top, just to the very outside edges. Sometimes we hear the melody line, and sometimes we hear the bass line going along, and nothing else on the in-between. So in this semester, what I want you to be able to do is to train your ears to hear more. That's going to take some work. For some of you, it's going to be easy. You're going to go, got it. And for some of you, you're going to be going like, no, Dr. Duncan, I can't hear the difference between an oboe and a flute. Well, hopefully by the end of the semester, just by listening, you'll be able to tell the difference between an oboe and a flute and all of the other major instruments that we're going to hear throughout the semester. Little step at a time, not expecting to identify everything right now, just a step at a time. Hope you're having a great day. Bye-bye.